What do you do if you have a switch you want to change the label on and you can't find the exact one out there anywhere? So there are tons of different um, options that are out there that you can order and that kind of thing. But like for me, there were some specific things that I was looking for, in particular for the race car, that none of these were good options. And so I am fortunate enough to have a laser engraving machine, and so that's what I employed. It took a little bit of doing and trying to figure out what's what. I'm going to tell you what I came up with, how to do it yourself. The nice thing about the laser engraving is that if you have backlit lights, it will make it so that whatever you put on the little cover, you can see the light through it. It actually will light up doing it this way. First off, one of the things you're going to need is these vinyl stickers. You don't have to get this brand or anything. This happened to be the ones that I got. I happen to have some here I haven't put on the car yet. And you can see here, these are the stickers that I've made up so far. I've got some more I need to put up. The DD is the name of the car, and those are blanks, but that we're not using on. We have a huge gang of switches, and we're not using all of them, but you can see here they're cut out correctly. The most difficult part was getting the edges cut off because they're not just square. They're got a weird shape to them. Another thing you're probably going to need is a decent caliper so that you're able to get a very good measurement. I really like the digital one because I can switch between inches and millimeters. Makes it easy to deal with. This one is Harbor Freight. It's pretty accurate, but the unfortunate thing is it's in inches, and so it's not as easy to deal with. It is a mechanical one as well, which can be nice because you don't have to worry about batteries. But either case, you need one of these so you're able to measure the switch to get it to the right size. So that being said, I'm going to switch on over now to the laser engraver software. I'm going to show you how I put these together in the laser engraving software. Can't talk today. And so you'll be able to see what's going on there. And you're probably asking yourself, well, why in the world do you have different colors for this? That is because when we're racing and whatnot, we can't, take our eyes off the track for more than, just a fraction of a second. And even that can be dangerous. So I need to have something that I can see that's basically color coded. So most of the buttons on the dash panel are black. And the few key ones that I really need to worry about are different colors. So the main ones, I do have a switch to turn the gauges on and off. It was just a power feed into that. So that one I need to turn on all the time. My rain light is what the rain sticker's for. I wanted that one to be red so that I could find it easier just to hit it. And then, of course, the fan, I want it to be a different color for the same reason. I want to know that, yeah, it's not because my gauge button's on the bottom. If it's, most of the way up, I want it, and it's green. That's the fan. So I don't have to actually read it or see the emblems or anything. They are labeled, obviously, but I don't want to have to read them in order to know which button I'm pushing. And so that's why I recommend going to different colors. Okay, so this is the laser engraver software. I'm using an Xtool F1. Really like it, by the way. And you can see here the way this is set up. Pieces already. This is for multiple switches, obviously. I did discover, however, that this really wasn't the way to do this because if you let the machine do the processing path of auto planning, it will cut these out before it takes the corners off. And so definitely not the way to do this. So I had to redo this whole thing. I'm going to show you with one of these that I set up correctly to show you what you really need to do in order to get it to work right. Okay, so this is just the rain button, and you'll see it's different colors in here. And you'll notice that the processing path is set to by layer, and that's by design. With these, you have to designate what is being cut when. Obviously, if you're doing this by hand, you don't need to do this. But if you are using a laser engraver, you need to cut the corners before the square is cut. So if we go in here and I'll shut off the square, you can see that these are, because it's cut from the top down in the layering, that's what it's going to do. So the rain is the second layer that gets done, and then finally the square gets done. You have to do it this way, even if you're doing a whole bunch of buttons at the same time. You really need to do it this way, because otherwise the little sticker will just fall and then you don't get things cut correctly. So with that, let's head on over to the machine. I'm going to hit framing so that we can see what's what as far as where it's going or where it's going to go. All right, so I'm just using my phone on this, so sorry if it's shaky. But basically, you can see that's where it's going to be being framed out. I use these little bits. These are actually from my camera to hold the piece nice and flat. Now that we're done with the framing, now I can, because that's where the only piece is going to be cut. Now I can process it and send it over to the unit. Okay, so I sent the design on over. We'll close the shield here. Protect our eyeballs. And then we'll let it go. You see there how it fell out of the paper? That's exactly why you've got to do this that way, or you'll end up with things not cut right. So pull it out here, and as you can see, nicely cut and everything. That's ready to go. Really important though is that these are self-adhesive, so all you got to do now, even though it's difficult to get it started, is peel the back off of these and put these on the switch. If you like what you see here, please like and subscribe for more content, and hope to see you out there.